Holy shit. Fuck. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the premier shit talking freeform conversation show between two friends just running their mouths about anything and everything because this is the adult table and no topic is left off the table. I am your slightly inebriated and coughing host, Trav, here with
There's
my.
no dying on the adult table.
No, there isn't. I mean, if that would be pretty fucking epic if it happened. But not doing just coughing from smoking weed. Uh, however hilarious that may be. I'm Trav, with you as always with my fellow host, the gigantic, massive muscle man, known only to some as the Vanilla Gorilla, but to all as the one and only Joey Fats. How are you, brother? It's been a long 3 weeks.
It has been, and I am great. Thank you for asking.
Glad to hear
I
that.
have, besides this hair I have in my mouth, but ugh. It was just 66.6 degrees in here, metal. So that was cool. Good way to start the show.
Yep, nice and comfy.
Yep.
Not having to use the heat right now either is nice. So, I mean,
Doesn't
I
look
haven't
like
turned
we'll
it
be
on
using that
in
doesn't
probably
look like
about a
we'll be using
month.
that for the foreseeable future either.
Yeah, I haven't turned it on in probably about a month myself.
I turned mine on last week. One of those nights it got down to like 27 degrees. And I think that was the final straw for me in deciding of whether or not I want to live in Massachusetts long term.
Right.
I'm pretty sure this was the winter. Like my wife and I were discussing it earlier. I'm pretty sure this is the winter that broke me. That finally made me just say, you know what? Fuck this shit. Enough is enough.
I reached that a few years ago. I just don't have the means to get out of here just yet. But yeah, I'm done with the winters unless I
Yeah.
want to be a part of it. I'd like to live somewhere that is comfortable year round, but not unbearable like in certain seasons. You know, like Florida, way too hot in the summer. I'd be up here in the summer.
Oh, see, I don't mind the heat at all. So I'll take as long as I have a pool or something I can jump in and cool off. Like that's totally fine with me.
Sure.
The heat is fine. Like I can get cold. But the getting warm in the winter and like, and not for nothing either, but like just the cost it I had to pay to heat my house this winter was astronomical compared to years past. And I'm running out of options. And every time I think I found like a cheaper, more inexpensive way to heat my house, something stupid happens and it just gets more expensive. So
Yeah.
between the winters, the cost of living and everything else, I think this was that 27-degree night, like a week and a half ago, whatever it was, a week ago, was the night that I just said, no, I'm done.
Yeah, see, it's not even the cold for me or the expenses because I end up spending more on electricity in the summer because I'm on a third floor. So AC,
AC is key.
yeah, in the bedroom at least. It's the only room I can actually have it in due to the layout of the apartment here. But
Yeah, I think we only keep our, like, unless we get like a crazy heat wave. The only places that I keep an air conditioner running all the time are up here in my studio because obviously I'm on the second floor and I need to protect my computer from the heat. Obviously,
Yep.
Everybody who knows anything about electronics, especially computers, knows they don't like warm. So I keep an AC running up here pretty much 24/7, and one in the bedroom 24/7, and that's about it. Like the rest of the house, we just leave the door and the windows open and
sure,
enjoy the weather. And but it's so much cheaper to cool my house than it is to heat my house now.
that would be understandable. Yeah, because you got a bigger space and
And not for nothing, but like
yeah, you don't
know
need to
me,
cool
dude.
everything all the time.
as you can tell, like I am a sleeveless shirt kind of guy. You know, I'm I'm Swolverham Lincoln. You know, abolish slavery. I don't like my house. What I consider my house uniform is basically like I dress like John Fetterman pretty much 24 hours a day when I'm not at work. Like unless I leave the house.
Except you haven't had a stroke yet.
Maybe I have. I don't know, but yet. But apparently the stroke made him smarter, so and less retarded.
It seems that way.
At
But
least his cognitive ability, his speaking has taken he sacrificed a little bit, with the quickness of the tongue and his ability to talk. But it seems like his thought process is smoothened out quite nicely.
Yeah, he lost some charisma in terms of like RPG stats, but he gained some intelligence.
Yeah, he was just all of a sudden he was like, wait a minute, these people are fucking stupid.
hmm But yeah,
And
dude, the cold I deal with the cold better than I do with the heat, and it's because I overheat very quickly. I run hot, so
I usually do too. Like you know, because fat, um, I get hot very easily, and I sweat like
hmm
not a shit ton, but like I do sweat a lot. So I do have to like you know kind of like pay attention to like you know how cold and how hot it is in my house. But at this point in my life, like I'm so much more of an outdoors person. Like being
yeah,
cooped up
same.
in the house all winter just fucking sucks, dude.
I go out
Like
on as many hikes as I can when it is the winter.
yeah, and like not for nothing, right? But like my wife and I, we live to be outside now. Like we can't stand being indoors, cooped up in the house. And as much as I do to make like the indoors in the wintertime fun, whether it's, you know, like I've got, you know, I have a pool table, a dartboard,
Yep,
a Beirut table that's set up all the time. You
you
know, I have
got
a
so
full
many activities.
yeah, tons of things to do, a bar downstairs. We got music, drinks, fun, light. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to do. My sister-in-law was up from Florida this weekend. We were doing karaoke on Saturday night.
Hell
Just
yeah,
the three of us downstairs, and it was fun as hell.
dude, send it.
You know? And exactly. So, like there's tons of shit for us to do. There's nothing downstairs that I would rather be doing than be outside and just literally walking in circles around my backyard and just doing laps.
Yeah,
Like that's it. That's all I would that's what I would I don't that to me is infinitely more when it's 80 degrees out. I got flip-flops, shorts on, a cutoff t-shirt. I'm sweating ever so slightly. Nice cold drink. Like I love needing this insulated cup that I use
oh
to
yes,
keep my ice from melting in my drink. Like I love that. I live for that. You know what
oh,
I mean?
it is way better. I'm a total beach bum in the summer. I'm as outdoors as I can be in all seasons. But yeah, summer, sun's out, guns out, skies out, thighs out.
Facts, brother. And that's the thing. Like we don't like. I'm done. Like if winter was only like 2 or 3 months, maybe even 4, I could handle it a little bit better. But like this, like getting cold in mid late October, and then it's mid April, like it's almost tax day, and it's 27 degrees out. Nah, fam, that ain't for me.
Yeah, after having some false hope days where it was like, oh, it's 64 degrees today, and then tomorrow's gonna be back in the 30s. So
Yeah,
that's
I mean
New England.
you're looking at like we have like a solid 6 months of shit weather up here, and then we get 2 like really nice months of summer, and then the other the other whatever 4 months is split, just kind of like, it could be nice, it could be summertime is a good, the summertime is a shit, like,
Yeah,
and a lot of the times like spring doesn't show up until mid late May. Like I remember like doing I had a Memorial Day cookout a few years ago, thinking like, and as a kid, Memorial Day to me was like the Coke 600, the Indy 500, Monaco. It was always warm. Like I remember like my parents being like, "Damn, it's too nice to be inside watching racing all day, but fuck it, like we got to do this."
yeah,
And like me as a kid, like wanting to be outside, and I'm like, "Yeah, let's do a Memorial Day cookout. It'll be fun and this and that." And we get it in like the temperature topped out at like 52. And I'm like, this
Was
is
that-
fucking gay.
was that the year that we got a ton of rain that summer? Where only over the weekend the whole summer, the season we had like
Where every Saturday it rained for like 16 straight weeks.
like every weekend. Yeah, we had like what, like 5 weekends in total, if that, maybe 3 that didn't rain.
Yeah, it
Each
was
day?
it was ridiculous. I think it was. I honestly believe it was 16 straight, and something like 21 out of 23 or something that rained.
Yeah, it's something that crazy.
Which I mean, whatever. Weather.
I
patterns
barely
are
went
just patterns,
kayaking
like,
that year
yeah,
because of it.
but like I know like I don't work on Saturdays most of the time, and I just remember there being a lot of rainy Saturdays, which are
Oh.
still better than nice days at work. But to me, you know what I mean. It'd
Yes.
be nice if we could have nice weather on my days off, rather than the
Mhm.
days I'm working where it's like 85 and sunny, and I'm like, oh, cool, this is great. But anyway, I'm bitching about the weather like an old fuck, like an old decrepit fuck now. because that's what happens when you get into your 40s, Trav. You know,
Yes.
you start bitching about the weather and politics and you know things that you never even imagined you could possibly care about when you were 21, 22.
And then you're like, ah, shit, my parents were right. I've turned into them.
Oh, that whole like I forget who the ad is, but it's like we can't stop you from turning into your parents, you know. But like it's so true.
Oh, it's isn't
It's
it
an insurance-
Geico's?
Yeah, something like that. One of those insurance.
Yeah, where the
companies.
guy's like teaching adults how to be.
Not like their parents.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, those are funny.
he's like, don't do that.
Hmm. No, we don't say it. Now I'm gonna discuss memes, and they're like, oh, what are
I
those?
get it. Yeah, it's like no man, like you know, I remember like the good old days where it was like I don't talk about religion or politics because it's a waste of time and nobody cares, and everybody was like, yeah. Anyway, what about football and
Mhm.
meat, red meat and girls and where are we gonna get beer tonight? And you're like, yeah, those are the important things. And
They
then-
absolutely were back then.
I
And
mean,
then-
they still are today, but also.
but they take a
weather.
back seat to. They're not the main priorities anymore.
Yeah, like I'm looking at the forecast and I'm trying to figure out when the fuck I'm going to fertilize and aerate my lawn, but I got to get my, my irrigation system fixed because I didn't get it done in time this year. And I fucking it froze so early this year. It got so fucking cold so fast. One of my valves froze and broke. Now I got to get it replaced before I can turn my irrigation on for the summer. I'm like, what the fuck? Again,
Yeah.
cold problems.
Yeah. And yet another
Sucks.
reason why you're done with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just over it. Like I know, like going to Florida will present a whole slew of new problems and issues for me to deal with, and I'm sure I'll find plenty to bitch about down there. But like fucking bugs that are like the size of my head and snakes and spiders and shit like that, whatever. But at least there, it's like, all right, well, if I'm gonna be miserable about something, at least I'll be warm. And there's like a
True.
90% chance I can go play golf tomorrow regardless, because the weather is just going to be nice and good. And it's like, yeah, as long as you're off the course by 4 o'clock when that afternoon thunderstorm rolls in, that rolls in every single day for 30 minutes, you're good. And I'm like, bet, I can handle that. So-
Hey, it's better than the alternative. I will say that for sure. Because yeah, as much as I love it up here, it is. I'm done with winter in the sense that especially after all the snow that we got in such a short amount of time. This season,
The snow is honestly, to me, the only fun part.
it's
That's
fun.
my favorite part.
I love snow when I want to be a active participant in there being snow. I will go to the snow. I don't like it when it comes to me.
Yes, that was my wife and I's plan. We were like, you know what? We'll like rent a cabin on like a mountain somewhere in New Hampshire, like a ski, like to like a ski resort.
Yep.
We don't ski, but we can just go up there.
Yeah.
For a weekend, enjoy the snow,
Mhm.
play around in it, light a fire, drink some hot cocoa, be cozy for a couple nights, and then come back to our nice, 75-degree weather in Florida. Because why would you not want that to be the norm? And then go visit the snow. I agree. You should be going to visit the snow is the better idea. But I do love like the blizzard we got. I did love that. That was kick ass. That was super fun. But I like any kind of historical weather event as a self-appointed weather nerd. I dig that shit. So
And it was. I just didn't like having to deal with it. I mean, granted, I did get a few paid days off where I didn't even have to use PTO or anything. Like they were just like, no, we're not coming in today, and yeah, you're all getting paid as if you were to show up.
right, that's like my wife's job does the same thing. Like if they close the office, she can't go in.
Mhm.
So they're like, okay. My job, unfortunately, we are essential personnel, and
Yes.
we never close for anything. So
If only you didn't have to like look after other people,
I know.
which is the main responsibility you have.
I swear to God, I could do my fucking job from Zoom most of the time, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. That'll be a discussion for after I retire when I can't get in trouble for talking about things.
Right, and when you write your book, yeah.
Book, movie, TV show. Man, if you could see the characters that I'm cooking up. Oh my God.
And all based on reality.
Yeah, we have this one guy. He was sick. He weighs 600 pounds. He has a Don King fro, and he talks like Mike Tyson.
That's
Just
quite the
wrap
combination. I mean, two
just wrap
people
your head
that work
around that.
together for quite some time. So you got
Mhm.
he looks like the promoter, but fatter, and talks like the
Way
boxer.
fatter.
Yeah.
And yep, and he always wears these huge like 12X pants, but the legs are like kind of short, like they come down like really narrow, and he
Yeah.
always wears black shoes that make his feet look really small. So he just
Mhm.
looks like a potato walking around on toothpicks. Like he looks like he's gonna topple over all the time. It's hilarious.
Jesus Christ.
It
Yeah,
is
that
one of the funniest things when I first saw him, I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And then he opened his mouth and started talking, and I was like, "I am so blessed to exist in the same timeline as this human being, even though he is a criminal who is doing life for murder."
well, I mean, then there's always that. You're like, man,
Yeah, there's always he's so cool. If only he didn't kill people. Yeah,
oh yeah, that's why he's here.
yeah.
You catch yourself sometimes like, you know what? He's not so bad. Oh right.
Oh fuck, never mind. He is. Yeah,
Shit.
it's like one of the biggest lies I ever tell the clientele at my work is when I'm like, yeah, man, like we're all the same, you know, we're all the same. Just the only difference is you got caught and I didn't, and I'm just like, boy, that's a lie. It's
Yeah,
like,
you're not
we
exactly
we are
doing what
not the
they are
same.
doing and also not getting caught. You're just straight up not doing what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm not raping and murdering and holding up, fucking convenience stores or slinging dope or any of that kind of
I mean,
gang banging.
you can say what he said as a fun thing to say if you're in there for like weed charges or like something like, oh well,
Mm,
a misdemeanor of some sort, something nonviolent,
right.
or yeah, basically something nonviolent.
There are
Uh,
some of those. There are some non-violent, like what I would consider blue collar crimes.
mm-hmm.
Like one guy, he got caught ripping off the lottery. Like he
Oh,
would just print like fake tickets that would come up as winners somehow. Like he had some sort of like backdoor into the lottery thing, and he would just go to like convenience store to convenience store cashing winning tickets, and finally they caught on
ah,
and it caught him, and it was just like victimless crimes, Patty.
yeah, that's like stealing something from Walmart. Like
Yeah,
it's
they bake it into their overhead every year. They know,
yeah,
lost,
they're insured. It's not like you did a dine and dash at a mom and pop like restaurant or something.
right, or it's not like you went and burned down a bunch of mom and pop stores in Minnesota because your favorite fentanyl dealer got killed.
Yes, but God forbid other people get murals done for them.
Yes.
Like I mean,
Great
if you
segue.
want to start it off with there because of the segue.
Yeah.
Yes, Arina Zarakova, uh, she had a mural commissioned that was supposed to hang on a gay bar in Providence. The artist was in the middle of doing it on the side of the building, but was on like a big canvas, essentially, with the background meant to mimic the background of the building, which was brick. Anyways, he was maybe 2/3 of the way done, maybe a quarter way done, and the town received a bunch of negative comments about it, and then leadership there buckled. And
Which so
Yeah.
before we die before like so I think everybody, obviously the story's a couple of weeks old. We're a little bit, we have had a couple of weeks off, so we're a little bit behind on this stuff. But I want to know, because I didn't hear, like I did look initially, but I think I kind of lost interest in it because it disgusted me to the point where it was like raising my blood pressure a little bit. Who complained about it?
uh, like a lot of people on the left, including a lot of white women.
No, I get that, but what was their complaints is what I want. Like I know they were like
Propaganda. I've seen. They said it's
Yeah,
propaganda.
and I'm like, propaganda how? Like
Yeah, I said for what exactly? Because I said
Yeah.
if this is propaganda, then what was all the George Floyd memorials?
right.
If not that,
Like we had one in New Bedford, for Christ's sakes.
yeah,
Like and nobody, even though we all knew that there was, an issue with that, we were like, whatever, like I'm just gonna not acknowledge it and keep pushing because I don't care, because it doesn't bother me. But I would love to know what complaints were actually received, because I don't believe that there was actually like any sizable amount of people that were complaining about this mural. I think this was like one or two people that had some connections and they because that's almost always how it
Well,
goes.
because I didn't hear about it until it blew up, and it blew up very quickly. And by the time that happened, it was more about, oh, this is getting taken down, but why? Uh, so I don't think there was any kind of like big vocal movement or anything being said on either side until it started making headlines and then eventually national news.
Right.
But from what I saw, like a lot of the people that were against it were saying it was propaganda, and then eventually, like, well, you got organizations like Patriot Front that are backing the artist. Well, they're vocally supporting him. And
And isn't the Patriot Front? Isn't that the one with all the just the feds? They're just feds. They're posers. They're not real like
yeah,
MAGA people.
mm-hmm.
That's that right? The khakis and the blue shirts, right?
Yeah, pretty
and they
much.
always wear the mask, and everybody's like feds, and they're just like, shut up.
Well, they give me and my brothers in the fraternal organization. I won't say the name on here, but you know,
I know exactly what you're talking about. You're right.
They give us a bad name because they're also out there.
Well, that's. But I think that's the thing. Like, which is why whenever somebody like cites the Patriot Front, I'm just like, oh my god. I'm like, really? You realize they only exist to give the right a bad name.
Yeah,
like they're not a right wing group. They're a bunch of lefties that LARP as right wingers and say and do dumb shit to make us look bad. Like,
yes,
it's the oldest trick in the book. and I know like that people aren't actually dumb enough to fall for it, but they like to pretend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like anyway. But yeah, like the Patriot Front supporting it, so we can't possibly have it. Like, the Patriot Front isn't a real thing, you fucking knob.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of feds.
I think it started as an actual thing, but then it quickly turned into, hey, we're the loudest assholes out here, and also we have some bad people with us, and then they got infiltrated, and then they are what they are now. So it's unfortunate that they are, like, still around in general.
You mean,
and talked about at all, but the fact remains, this guy was commissioned to do a mural. He started doing it. Some people didn't like it, and then he started getting all the like literal death threats, other threats of violence against him, for him simply doing it. And then they're saying, "Oh, who paid you? Was it Elon to make this?" And then blah blah, like all these weird conspiratorial type things. And he had come out and said, like, look, I'm really not political at all.
Right.
I'm pretty much apolitical, but I'm getting all the negative stuff I'm getting is from people on the left, and I'm getting nothing but love from people on the right. And I don't necessarily agree or disagree with either side, but there's one side that is clearly being like objectively horrible to me right now, and it is the far left.
Which, I mean, and as we move along in the show, we'll talk more about the tolerant left, if you will. But isn't that always the case, though, Trav? Like, at least in the last, like, 10 years, where we've been told, like, the left is this all-inclusive, all-loving, all-whatever, peaceful, you know, empathetic, you know, bullshit, whatever fucking words they want to use to describe themselves. And then they turn around, and then they're the first fucking people to throw a fucking, you know, a water bottle full of concrete at your face. You know what I mean? Or
100%.
Or toss a brick through the front of a building, or block traffic, you know, and fuck your day up, like, and try to fight you or whatever. And like but they do it like so, like they do just enough to provoke you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they might get a little physical, but it's not enough to like really get like, you know, get charged with anything. But they do just enough to try to invoke that reaction out of you where then you're going to get arrested and charged with something.
Well, that'll come up in
professional agitators, and
yes.
Above all, they're hypocrites.
And that'll come up in another story we'll be talking about a little bit after this. But yes, that's what they do. I want to shout out the artist on Instagram. His name's Ian.
Mm-hmm.
His IG is img_designs. You know, show him some support, show him some love. he's doing it for the sake of the art. He also made a post. He shared a post that him and another artist a few years ago did like kind of side by side murals. He painted. His was about Elijah McClain, and then the other artist was about Breonna Taylor. And then he said, we made a lot less controversy than what's going on now. And I wonder why.
Well, gee whiz. Let me think. Oh, that's right. Because here's the thing, right? Is the right, like, if we see a memorial for George Floyd, as somebody who you know is a conservative and doesn't agree with a lot of liberal policies and standpoints and viewpoints, if I see a memorial of George Floyd, I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna go, "You're a clown.
Yeah.
That's stupid," and I'm gonna keep on walking. I'm not gonna go home and run to social media and talk about, and maybe I should start doing this. Like, I don't know, maybe we should start fighting fire with fire. But like, also, like, I just have way better shit to do with my time than like run home and go to social media or start making phone calls and like pushing to get something removed because I don't like it. Like, I was always taught as a kid, if you don't like something, then change the channel. You know, if you don't like the song that's on the radio, change the station. If you don't want to watch the movie that's on TV, then don't watch the movie, but don't ruin it for everybody else because other people do like it.
Yeah. And
then at some point in the last, I'd say 15 to 20 years, it's gone the complete opposite way. Like, it was always a running joke. You know, like, I remember there was one of the early Family Guy episodes where Peter made like a fart joke or something, and the FCC guy is like, we had 6 people call in and complain about this joke that was made, which means 600 trillion people were mad about it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, no, like, it just means those 6 people are fucking lames and losers.
Mm-hmm.
But then, and like, we would joke about it all the time that, like, you know, if one person makes a complaint, that means 100,000 people were actually mad about it, but didn't take the time to complain. It's like, no, it just means that one person was mad about it. Everybody else was just an adult and was like, well, I don't want to watch that or hear it, so I'm going to change the channel. And we've gone completely the opposite way now, and the left has gone the complete, I mean, just they've dug in and totally bought into this whole cancel culture thing. And I hate the people that say, like, oh, you have freedom of speech, but not freedom of consequences from it. Like, no, that's what freedom of speech means.
Yes.
Freedom of speech means you're free to say whatever you want. And there should be no consequences for those actions because of your speaking.
Not from the government.
Not from the government, but like, even still, like, I would take it even a step further. Like, anybody, like, and this goes back to, we talked about this when Charlie Kirk was murdered and assassinated. I don't believe that people who were cheering for Charlie Kirk's death is distasteful and abhorrent as it was. I don't think anybody should have lost their job over that. Like, I don't think that that's like, that's a line that, like, I don't know when we got to that, but like, my thing is this, right? Like, I don't represent like a company 24/7. They tell me I do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you work for us. You represent us 24/7. Even when you're not on the clock, you represent us. No, asshole. I represent you when I put on the fucking shirt with your logo on it and I go to work. What I do in my free time has nothing to do with you.
Yes.
And I don't know when, like, we all of a sudden, like, we started allowing companies to, like, wield this power over people. And I mean, I know why. It's because you have petty ass fucking people who work in HR. You know, I mean, come on, like, not all HR people are cunts, but all cunts are HR people.
Yes.
You know, like, so I get the whole, like, I get why it started to fall that way and went that way, but I just think it's ridiculous that we as a society have, like, just, like, allowed that to become the norm.
It's because it's like you said, fight fire with fire. They were doing that before, the left. Mm-hmm. Now it's happening to them. In some cases, I agree with it, but I not for the ones that involve just saying something.
And not even, and it's not even close to the same, like, level. Like, the right, like, we'll do it. We did it. The people on the right who went after and, like, started exposing these people about the Charlie Kirk thing, they went after those people because they were tired of it being done to us all the time.
And then finally one of us gets killed in front of people. Like,
Yeah, and then so it turned into like, oh, okay, you're gonna mock us, and you're gonna sit there and like tell everybody like, oh, this is great that he's dead. Cool. Like, how would your employer feel about that?
mhm.
And then the people on the left were like, wait, no, that's our tactic. And we're like, yeah, asshole. Now we're gonna use it against you. And they're like, no, you're supposed to be better than this. And we're like, yeah, we decided we're not taking the high road anymore.
Well, what's
Like-
great about that is how it evolved to them hearing us say what you just said in response, and then doubling down on their retarded levels and straight up saying, I think so and so should be killed. Like, if only somebody did something to try, like, it's vague, but or some of them aren't even vague. They're straight up saying, one of us needs to just take this motherfucker out and blah, blah, and they'll say the names.
I mean,
and,
didn't like, I mean, there's been countless like Hollywood people that have said it, and nothing happens to them. And you know,
Yeah.
there's all sorts of people like, you know, there's all sorts of, you know, internet personalities and shit like that, you know, whatever on every different fucking platform imaginable that have said that about Trump. Like, somebody just needs to fucking man up and take this guy out. And it's
well,
like,
now they're getting, like, they're going viral for saying that shit because of profiles like Libs of TikTok, Retard Finder, and others on social media.
Retard Finder is one of my favorites.
hmm They're great.
Love Retard Finder.
But they expose this stuff. That shit is seen immediately, or at least within a few hours, by a few 100,000 people, and then the word goes out there, and then probably by the end of that day, whoever that was is found. Like,
Yeah.
you know everything about them essentially.
And like, but again, like, I still feel like it's kind of fucking gay that we've like, it's come to that. Like, really? Like,
I
this is
agree
what
with
we're
that.
doing? But we didn't start this. Like, we were not the ones that like, that said like, oh, you know, I don't like what you had to say about, you know, George Bush. So I'm going to go to your employer and tell him like, and even back then, like, if you went back to like 2005 and tried going to like somebody's employer and being like, oh, they had some disparaging things to say about George Bush, they called him a Nazi and said they wish he was dead, they'd be like, yeah, it's their right to say it, man. Freedom of speech. Sorry, we're not going down that road. And most companies would just like be like, yeah, no, sorry, like. But now with social media and the internet being forever, people are putting themselves out there and they're saying these things and they're realizing that, yeah, there is no hiding from this anymore. You can't just go on, you know, on fucking on Reddit and just post under an alias and say these things and get, you know, a couple thousand likes out of it and get your dopamine hit because people like what you said,
Right.
and then not have consequences. Like, and again, I still think that's stupid. I really disagree with the fact that like you can't just say what you want without having to like be inferior to your job. Now, if I go out, if I work for the United States government, if I work for the federal government, and I'm talking shit about my boss, aka the president, that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like, but I feel like these things should be taken like kind of like case by case.
Yes.
And used and like, you know, like let's apply some logic, some context, and some common sense to these things.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, what was said by our employee and what was it in response to, and what's give me the full context here.
Yeah.
And
like,
then
and then again
we'll
and honestly,
evaluate it.
is it really detrimental to anybody to have so? And then, you know, the excuse will be like, you know, well if I work at that company now, don't get me wrong, you could use the excuse like for example, like just to go back to the Charlie Kirk thing real quick. If
Yep.
I saw one of my coworkers, you know, up there singing, we shot Charlie in the neck, and celebrating Charlie Kirk's demise and saying he was a racist, you know, transphobe, whatever, all the fucking things that he said. And I'm sitting there and like, I share a cubicle with this guy, you know, Monday through Friday. And he's like, hey, man, like, we're going over to Chili's to get margaritas after work. You coming? I'm going to be like, fuck no. Like,
Yeah.
no, you're a fucking loser, dude. Like, I don't want anything to do with you, you piece of shit.
Yeah. I don't
Like,
even
oh,
care
what?
if it is Dollaritas.
Yeah, like, oh, what? Because you're Charlie Kirk? Like, well, no, because I happen to align with Charlie Kirk in more ways than one. And you just celebrated his death, meaning if I got shot, you would feel the same way about me.
Yeah.
Based on what I feel and what I think.
Mhm.
So please excuse me if I'm not going to accept your invitation to be your friend anymore. Like, I'm not going to do that. And I've had no problem like just kind of cutting ties with people. since the
it's-
Charlie Kirk thing.
It's easier than ever.
Yeah, like, and because they all exposed themselves. And anybody who had anything like disparaging to say or like celebrating Charlie Kirk's demise, I've pretty much like kind of just like chopped off. Like I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like
Yeah.
I don't unfollow them or unfriend them, but I can certainly tell you like if I get an invite to their to their 4th of July barbecue or something, like nah, and they certainly aren't getting one to mine. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And yeah, that's in physical terms, in physical interaction, but even with like social media interaction, yeah, you just don't engage anymore. You're just like, all right,
No, like I don't give a shit that you're.
they're on my list still, but I'm not gonna, say anything on any of your shit unless it's like, hey, happy birthday or whatever. Like,
And even that I won't do. Like
Sure.
I'm that
Yeah,
petty,
you
like, I
don't
won't
have
even do
to.
that. Like no, I don't want you to have a happy birthday. Actually,
I hope it
Um,
sucks.
you would have been happy. You would be happier if I was dead. That's something that I reserve for my mortal enemies.
Right.
That's it. Not people who I just happen to know because they have a differing opinion of me, differing opinion of somebody than I do. And I think that's where like things get lost. And back to the mural thing, kind of to bring it back to that.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know who is complaining about this shit, but I guarantee you it was a very small group of people or persons. Like I mean, I'm talking like probably like single digits
Hmm.
who somehow had a connection because Brett Smiley came out like awfully fast and
Yeah.
was like, "This is too divisive. We're taking it. We're not going to allow it."
Well, he said all that, and then he had to backtrack and say, no, look, it wasn't my decision as the mayor to have it down. Like, the city did not say that it needs to be taken down. It wasn't an official thing. I stated my opinion on what I thought about it and what it was doing.
And basically,
So it's like, so then why even say anything about it at all in a public way like that?
well, Trav, because we know that you never let a situation like this go to waste as a politician,
Mm-hmm.
and he saw an opportunity to placate to his base, and say, "Look at me, I'm fighting the good fight," because this woman was murdered by a multiple time felon who had been arrested like 17 times or 27 times, something like that, and
Yeah.
and released based on whatever godforsaken reasons he was released by from these judges and all this other shit, which is a whole other fucking problem that we're finding out is coming to light now because of shit like this.
Mm-hmm.
And we find out this dude just gets up and literally just shanks this woman in the neck because she was white.
He emphatically said it after
Yeah.
he did it. He said, I got that white bitch.
And what was even more disturbing about that video to me was whatever like the 5 or 6 black people that
They
were sitting
didn't-
next to her.
Regardless
that
of what
didn't even fucking
race they are,
look
they
at her.
nobody did a thing.
No one did shit. It just happened to be they happened to all be African American,
Right.
and they all happened to just get up and leave that girl there.
Mm-hmm.
Like that girl bled out on a fucking train by herself, minding her own business on her way home from work, and no one even stopped to fucking help like stop her bleeding.
It was worse than it was a bus. It was worse than being on
I'm
a
sorry,
train
bus.
because
Sorry.
the driver is right there.
Yeah,
It's not like he's the engineer at the front of the train and this happened in the back car.
and he has no idea.
Exactly. And what did he do? Maybe he pulled over as soon as he could and noticed because it all happened very quickly. But at that
Yeah.
point, she was already on the ground.
No, it was on the train. It was on the light rail.
Oh, okay.
It was. Yeah, I thought so. I was like, wait, no, because I think, yeah, because I didn't want to. I didn't want to make.
No, I'm glad you looked that up.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure because I was like, wait, is my memory fucked up? Because did I misread this whole thing? Because then that would have made it even. Because to me, that would have been even worse. Like you said, if the driver doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But like it's one thing, but like all these people, like no one even stopped to like hey, take a fucking a hoodie and put it over, trying to stop the bleeding.
Yeah,
Like nothing.
apply pressure to it. Like, no, they all. Well, and on the one hand, I can understand why some people wouldn't get up, especially the women, after he just did that. Like, you're not gonna try and stop him. He's a big guy.
I mean, I think it's your duty as a citizen, especially a male.
But the men, yeah, they kind of have
It's
no
your
excuse.
duty to stand up for something. Like like I know you're not trying to get involved with somebody else's business, but like you can't, as a man,
see that and just
stand there and just idly just stand by and watch some girl get murdered for no reason because you're too afraid of getting hurt yourself. Like, no, you fucking snuff that motherfucker.
You do whatever you can.
gotta do.
You give
And
a
again,
look
this
over
is
to the
why
other guys that are next to you and be like, "We're doing this, right?" Like,
yeah, like get this motherfucker. Like, I mean, this is again why I'm a huge proponent of the Second Amendment. But this dude, but then we flip the script, Trav, like we go and we watch the whole Daniel Penny situation unfold in New York.
Yeah,
where that guy did stand in and prevent somebody like Irina from getting stabbed in the neck.
And then he's on trial for murder.
And then he gets put on trial for murder. And everybody's like, "Oh, he was a dancing Michael Jackson impersonator." Like, no, he was a mentally ill felon who was who was about to go on a killing spree. Like,
yes,
stop. Like, and the disingenuousness of the mainstream media, where they just paint these narratives and they just feed them to us. And like, I don't know what pisses me off more, the fact that they do it with such reckless abandon and no like zero regard for any like shred of truth, or the people who actually believe it. Like, I'm equally disappointed in both sides on that.
That's fair to say.
You can't sit there and watch like a CNN thing. Like, what was it? Like, to watch something about I can't remember what it was, but it was like the headline, the way like I think it was like TMZ represented something, and I'm like, wait, what? And then people are just like, yeah, well, they'll see that and be like, oh, he was just a mentally, he had a couple of screws loose, but he wasn't a bad guy. Like, no, he was a bad person. Like, you can have screws loose and be a bad person.
Yes.
But because we're so conditioned to think that like every bad person that you see is this like cold, calculated killer like Jeffrey Dahmer, that, oh, well, if he was mentally ill, there's no way he could have been a bad person. He didn't know what he was doing. No, it can be both. It can be both. And oftentimes it is.
Well, usually it's one or the other. It's very hard to be actually tried and found legally insane. There's a lot of parameters that go into, actually classifying that as we have it here under law in the United States of America. But what it comes down to on a basic level is, do they understand right from wrong, and do they understand what they did was wrong?
Well, I mean, apparently, and according to the courts, and the psychiatrists and the people who did the evaluation of this fucking shitbag, apparently he's mentally unfit to stand trial.
To stand trial. That doesn't have to do with his mental capacity during the time of the
correct.
The murder.
Mean, but that's what's crazy to me is like, wait, we're letting this guy off like this?
Well, like, they have to do with it. It's just prolonging.
Right. I know he's not gonna just get away, and they're gonna be like, well,
no,
you get to walk free because you're a retard.
But his past offenses, incarcerations, and subsequent releases are definitely going to be on full blast here. That's why the defense is trying to do the insanity route here and say that he's like bipolar and what have you, or schizophrenic. I believe it might be schizophrenic. That's more believable than bipolar in terms of the actions, but that doesn't mean he is. That's just going to be the defense in this case.
Correct.
I think the bottom line is here with that, the jury's going to be made aware of his priors, his record, criminal record, and see the footage.
I mean, obviously the prosecution is going to go. I mean, they have about as open and shut of a case as you're ever going to see. But again, it's going to come down to the judge and the sentencing. Like, this guy is definitely going to be found guilty, but what type of punishment is he going to receive for his actions?
At the very least,
that's what I'm more concerned about, because you see these liberal judges across the country just letting people go with basically slaps on the wrist just so they can go out and commit more felonies.
It depends on the charge, and that stems from these judges too. They might give somebody 15 to 25 with a chance of parole on like a second degree murder charge. Since it's not first, they're not going to get life without, or life with a possibility after like 25 years.
Right.
So in that case, it was second degree murder. They killed somebody, but and they already had time served before. So, we'll run that concurrently. So they'll be out if they play nice. Yeah,
and
maybe like 15 years.
this type of shit happens all the time. You know, like you said, like, yeah, this guy might do 15 years for murder. And it's like, dude, this guy literally fucking stabbed a girl in the neck, said, I got that white bitch.
Hmm.
And you're just going to be like, well, yeah, but he's, you know, he's a little fucking, you know? And you're like, yeah, that's why you lock him up and throw away the fucking key. Because what do you think he's going to do in 15 years when he gets out? You think he's just going to fucking be like, wow, learn my lesson.
Yeah.
I'll never do that again. You know, or do you think he's going to get out and go right back to doing what the fuck it was that he did in the first place? But that's the, how do I say it? The arrogance of these people that work in mental health. They think that they can fix people like this, and it's equal parts amusing and simultaneously frustrating because, you know, and again, I can't say too much about it from personal experience. Most mental health workers they think like they can save everybody, especially the young ones that haven't been quite jaded by the system yet.
Yeah.
And they come out and they're like, oh yeah, they're like, well, we gotta help him and get him, you know, we can get him, you know, to be this and that. And they just, you know, they just need more programming. You know, they just need more programs. They need more help and more learning and more ability because they haven't been given that their whole life. It's like, no, dude, like, no, they're gonna get out and they're gonna reoffend. Like, and they almost always do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's especially the violent ones. It's just, it's fucking nauseating to watch this shit unfold and happen and then see something like this. And then you got this fucking douchebag mayor, Brett Smiley, you know, like you said, just like copping out to like, be like, well, it wasn't my order. Like, bull fucking shit, asshole. This didn't fit your fucking bullshit agenda because a white girl got killed by a black man. And that doesn't help your angle. And now you need this to go away. We want this to go away. We don't want to bring any more attention to this because it's detrimental to our cause.
Exactly.
And that's the bottom line of it.
Them making a big deal out of it, the mayor saying anything at all about it, and the guy who's also running for mayor, that little Mexican guy who sucks, they were very vocal about it. It's like, oh, that guy was like, oh, this doesn't sit with the city's values.
Yeah, what values are those?
Well, this man, I argue, has no values.
Yeah.
And I said as much, too. I shared his contact information at the State House in Rhode Island, because he is a rep, and said, hey, if you disagree with what he said, leave him a kind message on his voicemail there at the State House, or send him an email. It was all there in the picture I shared. But it that kind of stuff, man, it's so transparent and it's so smug because they think what they're saying is right. Like, they think it's objectively right, and anybody that disagrees with them is wrong, but what they're saying is actually pretty fucked up and crazy.
Well, it's not even that anybody disagreeing with them is wrong. Anyone disagreeing with them is a racist bigot.
Yeah.
You're intolerant. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the smugness of the left. That's what we've come to know of people on the left who consider themselves hardcore lefts. Like, that they will sit there and they will pretend like they have this, they act like they have all this knowledge that you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And that you can't possibly see it the way that they see it because you're not smart enough. And it took me a long time to realize that, like, growing up. You know, I used to think that, like, I hated soccer moms and people who drove minivans and shit like that because they were the ones that, you know, they wanted to get rid of dodgeball in school and didn't let us play Killer Spud anymore. And, you know,
man,
the people that are railing, you know, like trying to get, that brought up, you know, make sure everybody gets a trophy kind of shit. You know what I mean? And then I realized that wasn't soccer moms. That was just libs.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I was like, oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, there are base soccer moms.
Exactly. There's soccer moms that are based as fuck. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, like, but it was an easy blanket term for me to, like, kind of use to describe what I hated about certain people, like in groups of people. And then I realized that was just the left. That was that was Democrats, if you will.
Oh, it was them all along. Yeah.
It was just like, it's like, you know, it's like Scooby-Doo. You like pull the mask off and you're like, old man Werther's, and like, and I would have got away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids. And you're like, nope, it was just libs the whole time. It's just I just had a hatred for libs and stupid shit like that. Like I couldn't,
Hmm.
never fucking could understand like why they would get rid of dodgeball or, why we couldn't play killer spud anymore, and like all these people that wanted us to,
Hot
no more
box.
tackle football at recess, and like
Yeah.
why? We're kids. It's what we do. Like well, no, bullying is the worst thing that you can have in the world, and it's like, yeah, bullying sucks when it's mean spirited and wrong, like, but not for nothing. Like I got bullied all the time.
Yeah,
And
I had my fair share of bullying.
yeah, like we all got bullied at one point by somebody, and it shapes who you are. It helps develop character to a degree.
Yes.
Like, not every situation you encounter in life is going to be full of love and support and all this other stuff. Like, no, there's going to be people out there that are assholes that are going to try you, and it's up to you to either go in the tank or come out of it better.
Yeah, because we grew up with the luxury, and I view it as such, as not having the internet being around the entire time of our adolescence.
Which, thank God for that.
Hmm.
That I'm happy for.
Yeah, we were still riding our bikes around until the sun, until the street lights come on.
Mhm.
Fucking, yeah, no cell phones, just fucking.
I mean, shit. A night like tonight, dude. Like, you, me, all the neighborhood kids, we would have been somewhere, either like throwing a football around, playing a baseball game,
Street
basketball
hockey,
game, something.
riding our bikes, just
yeah, because it
playing
was the
basketball.
first nice night we've had all spring, and we're like, fuck yeah, we're going outside and playing. Like, we ain't going inside. No, hell no, it's too nice out.
Yeah, exactly. We'd be outside
know?
doing something.
And it would be, we would, go up to, we'd go up to Atlantic Street and hang out with that crew, or, they would come down to our side of the neighborhood, whatever. Like, it didn't matter, but like, we were doing something.
Yes.
Or you'd ride by somebody's house and you'd see 15 bikes parked on the front lawn, and you're like, oh, that's where everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, sweet, and
Gonna get me a Capri Sun and fucking
hell yeah, dude.
chill.
But this generation, though, like, and online bullying is a different type of bullying, because I feel like that's like, I don't know, that
Yeah,
there's some, it's a lot more easy to dogpile on people.
Yeah, because you don't have to go anywhere to do it. You
right, you don't have to be present to do it. You just have to be in front of your phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and I still see it, like, even to this day, like, on like some of my like work Facebook pages and stuff, like somebody will say something and then like a bunch of people will just jump on them.
Yes.
And it'll ignite a bunch of other people to jump on them, and then everybody starts dogpiling on, and I'm like, all right, guys, like, take it easy. Like, you're not all that important. Like,
it can get out of hand.
What you're saying is not, it's not that profound. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
And, but yeah, anyway, but online bullying is just, it's a different level of bullying. Again, because I feel like it can be more widespread, and like, if you got bullied in the cafeteria, maybe 20, 30 people saw it.
Yeah.
And word might get around, but nobody had cell phone videos of it or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now somebody posted on Instagram, like the entire fucking school, the neighboring school, all the surrounding schools, everybody in the grades above and below,
and it can
like,
go viral. Yeah.
Yeah, like that shit could be, like, I can see how that could be damning to a kid, and it's like, fuck, like, you're never going to escape that. But like, especially if it's something like bad. But then again, like,
yeah.
I don't know, like, that's your job now to grow up. Like, this is the environment you're growing up in. How are you going to cope with it?
Yeah.
You can't.
I'm not envious of that generation.
Yeah, you can't uninvent the internet. So guess what? Don't have social media, or be careful and don't do anything. Don't shit your pants and fucking let somebody fucking tape it on on Snapchat. Like, it's just probably not the best idea for you.
Well, nobody's safe anymore, man. Imagine how many humiliating moments that we had growing up.
Oh my
just
God,
as individuals,
countless.
that if anybody had a phone with a camera in it, like everyone does now, how fast that would have like spread through not just the school but like the area.
Oh my God, dude! I remember getting like beat up by a girl in 6th grade at the bus stop, and she was like, about my size, so it was what I would, and I wouldn't hit her because she was a girl, and like she just kept
Right.
like punching, kicking me, like threw me to the ground, like stomped on me, and then one of our friends like sprayed Banaka in her face
But not.
to get her away from me. And like next thing you know, like 2 hours later, like the cops show up at my fucking house, and they're like, yeah, we got some questions, this and that. Is there an incident today? I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, it's a Friday afternoon in the fall. I'm playing Bogey Dead 6 on my PlayStation in 6th grade. Like, it's going to be a great weekend. I'm like, I'd already forgotten about the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, like the cops are at my house, and my dad's looking at me like, "What the fuck did you do?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
I got beat up by a girl.
And then I had to then I had to admit in front of my dad to the cop that I got like kind of beat up by a girl, and my dad was just like, "Pussy." Like,
I would have slapped her once at least.
yeah, he's like, "Well," he's like, "I'm proud of you for not hitting a girl, but also, goddamn son."
Yeah.
You know,
You
and
did
the
the right
cop-
thing, but also you're a pussy.
yeah, and what's funny is like that the girl's mom called the police because one of our friends sprayed Banaka in her face, and they
That
were
was
like, she's like, "That's assault, like that could have been, whatever." Like, and everybody was just like, and then she called the cops, and then she ended up getting in the most trouble because she assaulted me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because everyone was like, well, she was hitting him, and he was just like taking
Yeah, he's
it.
like, and the other kid and our friend who did it was just like, well, I wasn't gonna hit her either, but he's like, I wasn't gonna let her just like keep doing what she was doing either.
Right.
And I always appreciated him for that. You know, he got
He did
he got in a
something.
little bit of trouble for it too. Like the cops had to show up to his house, my house, the girl's house, and we all lived right like pretty much a block away from each other. It wasn't like we were like I could see both of their houses from my parents' back
Yeah, like,
porch.
oh, they're over there too now.
Yeah, exactly. It was. I mean, it's funny, but like, imagine that video like going viral of me like getting my ass kicked by a chick, like in 6th grade. Like that is so damning to your cause.
That is, middle school is brutal.
Middle school was way more brutal than high school, I think.
Well, because you're coming into meeting all these kids that you probably didn't, most of which you didn't know, unless you played
Right.
sports and I knew a few guys in 6th grade from Little League, but they went to different schools that lived on the other side of town essentially. So never really saw them up until middle school.
Right, same.
But
Like, I
yeah,
didn't know.
it's
We didn't
way...
know any of the DeMello school kids until we got to middle school.
Well, I knew
We might have
DeMello.
known. We knew a couple of them, but
Yeah.
we didn't know all of them. You know, we definitely didn't know the Potter and the Gidley school kids.
No.
They were on the whole ass other side of town.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. It might as well have been fucking Fairhaven.
Yeah, right. And DY Double didn't start like putting all those kids in one group like until 6th grade, so you didn't even know.
Yeah.
You know, you just played. You know, the only basketball league we had was like the school league, where like you had like 2 teams at Cushman School that would play each other, and you're like,
Yep.
great. Well, they got Sam Madden and the Robbins twins and Corey Catelli. They're obviously gonna fucking win. Like, what the fuck? Meanwhile, it's like me and my fat ass over here, and I'm like, yay, I can shoot a basketball. You know, like. But anyway.
Oh yeah, it'd be me against. I was on the shitty team because I sucked at basketball.
Same.
So it would be me against Brian Jalbert, Jason Tavares.
Oh, yeah.
Like
all the phenomenal athletes at the time.
yeah, the good young, like who showed athletic prowess at a young age.
Yeah, I was
Those
still.
guys.
I still remember like facing Jalbert in Little League, in
Mhm.
baseball as a pitch, and just being terrified of him.
Yeah, him, Chucky, Neil Avery.
Chucky and Neil, I wasn't as afraid of because I knew like they had really good control. Whereas like Jalbert would just like throw one sometimes, and it would just like go like 6 inches behind your head, and you're like, Jesus Christ! And he's like, nah, sorry. Like,
He's like, oh, I'm the big unit of Dartmouth.
yeah, and he threw hard. Like for a fucking middle schooler, dude, he threw hard. And I remember like going up against his one night, and I was just like, I remember just standing in the batter's box and just swinging defensively, like just please don't hit me, please don't
Just
hit me,
hit the
please don't
bat
hit me.
and not me.
Yeah. And like I think I struck out on 3 straight pitches. Not one of them was close.
And you're like, oh, thank God I could.
I was like, all right, let me get back out in the field. My coach is like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, I'm not trying to. Like, you kidding me? You see how fast this dude's throwing fucking baseballs, bro? Fuck you. Which, I mean, looking back at it, probably wasn't that fast, but in 6th grade, it felt fast.
Relatively, yes,
Yeah.
it was fast.
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
Because
That
he
shit
was taller, so he had the longer,
yeah.
pitching
And
release
you
and
never know,
stride.
He was pretty fucking good too, so that didn't help anything either. But every
Yeah.
once in a while, but Jalbert was he was one of the ones that like I was terrified of him. PJ, Chucky, Avery, I wasn't scared of. I just knew I wasn't going to get a hit off of them,
Right.
so that sucked. And then the first time I ever got hit was by Sixto, actually. R.I.P. in peace.
Oh, no shit.
Yep, I got hit. He hit me in the round robin tournament. Clocked and got me right in the fucking knee.
Ooh.
Oh, that fucking hurt so fucking bad, dude. I was so pissed.
Yeah, you want to take it on a meaty area if you're going to take it.
Yeah, like right in the shoulder, back of the shoulder would have been nice. You know what I mean? But nope. right in the fucking knee, like right on the bone. I was like,
Ugh.
God damn it! And they're like, tough it out. My dad's like, don't let him see you hurt. Walk it off. And
Walk
I'm
it
like,
off. Yep.
fuck you. I'm like, this is fucking killing. Like, I can barely walk to first. And like, my coach is like, all right, take a lead. And I'm like, take a lead? I was like, can I get a runner? What the fuck? like, first of all, I'm one of the slowest fat fucks on this team. He's
And
like,
you're
yeah,
telling me to take a lead?
Yeah, that's why you need a big lead, fatty. Get halfway over there. Decent chance he's gonna throw to first. And it's gonna go over. It's gonna go sailing over our dugout anyway. Just get the fuck out there. And I'm like, no.
Right. Well, speaking of fat guys who are gonna get tossed out of somewhere, I think we spoke enough about the mural stuff. Chris
that took a pretty big left turn. We went from the mural to DYAA baseball.
Yep.
Real quick.
And now we're going right back to current events. Chris Ostrowsko,
Oscucko.
his wife and daughter assaulted independent journalist, she works for TPUSA.
Yep.
Savannah Hernandez at a protest where, she got straight up assaulted in multiple different ways. Thankfully, they are now going to face justice. But it's another example of the left being the instigators, the most violent of the two sides right now.
Mm-hmm.
In every shape and form and way. They do this type of instigation stuff and then straight up assault. And then they play the victim card and they act like
every time
the conservatives are the bad people that are the most violent. The
fails,
gun owners are the most violent, and they're the ones shooting up. It happens, but over the last few years, it's leaning heavily on the other side, especially when it comes to blatant acts of public violence like this, where they feel entitled and they get riled up by the rest of these jackasses. Like Roddy Roadsteamer was there, that fucking piece of shit.
Oh, he used to be so funny, dude. Now he's such a fag. Like he actually like used to make me laugh when like before he got all like political and shit. And he was like, all this stuff, and he'd just be like sitting like driving in his car and he's like, and lean, you know what I mean? Like that shit was funny as fuck to me. And then he just started like, and then like what was it? Like Vermin Supreme or something like that.
The guy that ran for governor of New Hampshire.
Yeah, and like he started like doing that shit, and I'm like, what is this guy doing? And then he just turned into a total fucktard, and I'm like, oh, this guy fucking sucks, dude. Like he is just now he's not, and it's not even funny.
No.
Like now it's just like, dude,
he's dressed up in his giraffe onesie. He's got like a guitar amp with a microphone plugged into it that he carries around just so he can be the loudest, most obnoxious person there.
Mm-hmm. And he is typically that, yeah.
I remember him from like the Massachusetts music scene because we did play some shows where he was also on there. And I remember interacting with him, and this was like, 20 years ago.
Right.
And I remember back then being like, this guy's a fucking douche. Like, like he's too much of a tryhard.
Yeah.
And he was just obnoxious. Also, he was like, allegedly, I have to say that, like sexually assaulting women, potentially, drugging their drinks.
I mean, are you surprised, Trev?
Because, no, I'm not.
I mean, because like again, like what do we always say about the left, right? And this goes, and there's a fantastic example of this that just so happened to unearth itself, right? So you're talking about this this guy and his daughter and his wife, right? The cuckoos there.
Yep.
There's a fantastic video of the dad saying like, we need to just dial it back and take back the rhetoric and take down the rhetoric and
basically saying, give peace a chance. Like,
give peace a chance with love. And I don't care what you say. We're just going to meet it with a hug. And that's going to be the end of it. And then this guy goes right out and assaults a girl, like assaults a small female who's a journalist because they don't like her because they found out where she works. The left are the kings of projection. Whatever they're accusing you of doing is exactly what they're doing. Look no further than Eric Swalwell. Like,
holy shit.
The guy gets fucking busted for fucking like raping women and sexually assaulting them. And what did him and Adam like? And then you go back and you watch the video of him and Adam Schiff, talking about fucking E. Jean Carroll and all these women that supposedly were sexually assaulted by Trump.
Yeah.
And even though they couldn't tell you where, when, how, who was there, they couldn't tell you any details. They were just like, but he did it. And there was believe all women and no one should ever touch a woman like that and blah, blah, blah. And then boom, you just give it a couple of months and now this guy, I mean, Swalwell's political career is over now.
He's completely done. He already dropped out of the race.
He dropped out of the governor's race for California, which is fucking hilarious. But again, like, this is the guy that was banging a Chinese spy.
Yep.
He's got a wife and 3 kids. Like, he's married with a wife and 3 kids. And like, and he's out there raping and sexually assaulting women. Like, no shit. Like, oh wow, look, like another leftist liberal who was just projecting the whole time.
Yes.
And just accusing you of doing what they're doing. And wasn't that one of Alinsky's rules? Rules for radicals, like just whatever you're doing, accuse them of doing twice as bad. And just don't even
acknowledge it when it happens on your side.
Yep. Double down on it. And
yeah,
we see this all the time, but this cucko guy and his daughter going after this Savannah girl, like, yeah, no shit. Like, of course they're the ones that are doing it because they're the most mentally unstable of the entire bunch because they're emotionally stunted mental midgets.
Yes.
And they can't handle the fact that other people disagree with them. So what do? They pound their feet and they stomp their feet and they throw a shit fit. And then they think if the louder my tantrum is, the more I'm likely to get what I want.
And therefore, the more important it is. And I'm right.
And in reality, nobody fucking cares. We're all just looking at you like you're a fucking retard because you are.
Yeah.
And you just need to fuck off and go. Like, these are the type of people that need to be, that, like, we need to start making examples out of people. Because you can call the left, they don't care about being called hypocrites. That ship has long sailed. They don't give a fuck if they're even exposed as being a hypocrite. They just know that their ends, to them, the ends justify the means, and that's it.
Yeah, they never acknowledge their own hypocrisy.
No. And it doesn't bother them because they have no shame. They have no shame, and they have no ability to see it the other way around and say, like, wow, like, maybe I am the asshole here. Nope. I'm just going to double down and triple down and just keep telling you to go fuck yourself. And it's like, that makes you an insufferable cunt.
Yeah, they'll never admit it. It's ridiculous. And as you said, this family is truly deranged because I saw the footage now of, the whole incident, but from a different angle before it all pops off. And the father is in frame of this camera and within mic range, and he's telling his daughter to go blow the whistle into Savannah's ear. Like directly,
which is assault. By the way, we talked about this before the show. But that is assault.
Legally, it is.
Emitting a loud noise into someone's ear at close range is considered assault.
And she's right on top of her. I mean, she might as well have the end of the whistle that isn't in her mouth, directly in Savannah's ear. So that's not good. And then she proceeds to attack her. But the dad can be heard saying, "Oh yeah." After being told, "Oh, your daughter's about to throw hands," and he said, "Oh yeah, I told her to blow the whistle in that girl's ear, so it's all good." And then his daughter swings at Savannah, pushes her. Savannah gets back up, starts walking away, and he like swings around to the right, gets behind Savannah and pushes her pretty hard.
Sent her flying, really. She's a small girl. Didn't take much,
And it was she was completely blindsided. She wasn't looking in his direction. There were people like that were more of a direct threat to her, and within her eyesight, basically, her vision range. But yeah, what he did was gross, and then he continued to pursue her. Thankfully, it got broken up, and now it looks like they may be facing federal charges, which
good. And again,
hey,
the only way this is going to stop is if we start making examples of these people. Like if you block traffic on a freeway, you're going to jail. Like
Yeah.
we've got to start punishing people for this just ridiculously over the top behavior that it's like, dude, no, we don't do that in society. Like that's not how this works. Like you want to fucking protest and do your thing, you go do it over there. Like go stay off the road. But if somebody comes through your little blockade, your little human blockade, and plows through 6 or 7 of you and kills a couple of you, well, what did you expect? You were standing in the middle of a fucking road.
Darwinism.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, but at what point are we going to start letting people just win the stupid prizes for the dumbass games they're playing? You know what I mean? I'm not saying people deserve to die over it, but if you blow a whistle in my ear, I can promise you, you're going to be, you're not going to be blowing a whistle for much longer, or maybe ever again.
Maybe out of their ass because you'll shove it up there.
Your jaw is going to be wired shut for the next 8 months.
Yeah.
Like that's not a threat. That's a fucking promise, dude. Like you don't know. Like you don't do that shit. Like, I don't play games like that. I don't do that shit to people because I don't want it done to me.
Exactly.
And if you do that to me, you will be met with a response that I can promise you won't forget.
Yep. And it's funny because I'll use this part of it to flow into just a minor thing, but there was that No Kings rally a few weeks ago. I happened to go to, I didn't even know it was happening, but I went to Aldi that day, as I do on Saturdays, and I see a bunch of people lined up around the mall right there on Route 6. And I couldn't see all the signs immediately. Then I got a little closer. I saw some American flags flown. But as I got closer, I could see what the signs were saying, and that there were more flags that weren't American flags.
Yep.
They were just other flags, basically. There's several other flags of, differing degrees of stupidity as to why somebody would be flying it here. But I digress from that point. But I could have, stopped because I parked where they were parking. Essentially, to get to Aldi, and I thought about walking into the crowd and like filming and just walking up and being like, hey, I'm here at the No Kings thing or whatever. What does that mean to you? Just asking that basic question.
Yeah.
And then spinning on them, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna get my groceries and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, because you know why? Because you're like, I got shit to do today. Like, I really just want to go home, drink a couple of beers.
Yes.
Listen to some music and hang out. Like, I really don't want to get involved with these fucking people. Like,
it wouldn't have been worth it.
No, it never is. Like, what are you gonna accomplish? Nothing. They're not going home. They're all, half of them are probably paid to be there anyway.
It was it was mostly old white people.
Of course, the bane of our existence, the old white liberal woman, the awfuls, as they're so often called.
Yep,
they're just the worst. They're the worst fucking people, man. Like the people that have no problems in life, so they have to go out and make one up.
And they have nothing but free time too.
And yes, and they've got nothing but free time, but they're like, oh, but I need to feel validated about my existence because, well, my life sucks and my husband hasn't fucked me properly in 20 years. So I need to get, I got to make sure I show everybody on the internet what a good person I am. And it's like, hey, you know what? I mean, I got to say, though, the No Kings protest, it's the only successful protest I think I've ever seen. We still don't have any kings.
Exactly.
So, I mean, we got that going for us.
That's why that question was probably going to be the only one I asked there, or at least to start off. Just be like, so how's it going? Because we haven't had a king. Have any kind of say.
Yeah, we
since
haven't been under the rule of a
1776.
king since 1776. So, hate to break it to you, but I mean,
yes, successful. We don't have a king still.
Yeah, good job. No, great, awesome. You guys did it. We still don't have any kings. That's awesome.
So yeah, what are you guys actually doing here?
But this is right. So
what do you actually do?
Here? They're like, well, I'm getting fucking paid $50 to be here, so fuck you. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have anything to do with it Saturday. My friend asked me if I wanted to make $100, and I said yes. Okay, go hold a sign and chant some shit. Whatever, dude. Cool, $100. I'm in. But no, these
give
people
me
are
soup
fucking,
and a haircut.
Yeah, these people are fucking absolutely delusional. They're completely devoid of any reality. I don't. All they do. These are the same people that get their news from like The View, on a regular basis, and you're
Ugh.
like, I think Sonny Hostin's like this, like and Whoopi Goldberg are like the arbiters of truth, and it's just so pathetic. Like I love seeing the Free Palestine people out by the mall on Sunday mornings. And I just love driving by them, just being like, "Go Jews, Jews rock," like, and they're just like, "Wait, what?" Like, "Fuck you," and I'm like, "Go fuck yourself." And
You need to get a programmable horn, that'll play like Havla Nagila Havla.
yeah, right. That'd be fucking awesome. Like, but yeah, it's like I'm just so sick of like everybody fucking having like this little cause and this little thing and like, oh, we got to fight against Trump, and I'm like, why? What are you fighting against? Like, are you fighting against America like being having its own industry and free from being cucked by China and India and the EU and being able to support like stand on our own two legs and like
and
and
we
making
have
more money
elections coming up. We got the midterms coming up, and then Trump will be done for the 2028.
well, not
election.
according to these people, he won't.
No, you say no.
Well, he's gonna run again, and he's gonna stay in power. I'm like, yeah, just like the last time when even though he lost a rigged election in 2020, we all know it was rigged, and we're finding out more and more every day that it was in fact rigged, and he still left office.
Yeah,
don't you think that would have been the time where he was going to be like, you know what? No, I'm not leaving because this is bullshit.
Yeah, and despite our best attempts at insurrection, quote unquote.
Yeah, yeah. Worst insurrection ever. Not a single gun was used that day except one to kill a protester.
As far as insurrections go, it was fucking gay, dude. Like,
yeah, that was that was the gayest insurrection ever.
They didn't accomplish what an insurrection is supposed to do.
No, it was because they were stalked by the brave, bold Capitol Police who lost 72 people that day. So
yeah.
Actually, no, they didn't. Well, not like death-wise, but like they all quit after that. Like, oh, okay.
And like one guy died after the fact.
Yeah, Brian Sicknick died 4 days later, and they were like, they killed him with a fire extinguisher. And it's like, nope, no, they didn't. And if that did happen, it probably was one of those fucking Patriot Front Fed fags,
right?
Which again, we know the feds were in the crowd inciting it, so like we know that to be a fact. What's it? Fucking Ray? Was it Epps? What was his name? The FBI agent that just like is the only guy that was seen like inciting riots and saying we need to go into the Capitol, and yet he's the only one that didn't get brought up on any charges.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, right. So, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like then everybody's like, where's this guy? And everybody's yelling. Everybody in the crowd's like, Fed. He's a Fed. And he's like, no, I'm not. No, seriously, guys, I'm not. What are you talking about?
My name is Guy Incognito.
Yeah. Don't you hate pants? Like,
yeah, exactly. Oh, I hope he tells us to burn our pants.
God, I hate these things.
So itchy.
Oh my God. Fucking classic. But yeah, it just but it goes back to like you said, dude, they're hypocrites who project. And anytime you want to know like what they're doing, just look at whatever they're accusing Donald Trump or the right of doing.
Yep.
And you can pretty much guarantee that's what they're up to.
It's I've always been of the mind that the people that are the most altruistic about something and vocal, like obnoxiously so, are pretty much projecting their own guilt for doing the same thing to one degree or another. So these people scream the loudest about these certain things. We react to that, and we have our own opinions, of course, on these same subjects. But we're not out there holding a sign, screaming at the sun or a cloud.
No, because if somebody, that's the difference is like, if it comes out that like somebody on the right is raping and assaulting women and is a total douchebag or doing something illegal.
Yeah, we're like, hey, that's fuck that guy.
Get that fucking faggot out of here. Like, we don't want that guy anywhere near us.
Lock him up.
Fuck you. Like, we don't want you anywhere near us. Whereas the left will be like, well, he was doing it, but he was a good foot soldier for the left. We don't eat our own. Like, we want to. He was he was not part of a committee that was investigating Trump, and we really like that. And you're like, great, he's a piece of shit. And they're like, but he's our piece of shit. And
yeah,
they'll
he's
excuse
in
his
our
behavior.
pocket.
Right, and they'll excuse his behavior and just wish it away. And, the media will carry their water, and all the sycophants will just be like, yeah. No, it's fine. Don't worry about that. Don't look at that.
Yeah.
Look at what Tucker Carlson said last night. We're like, yeah, we fucking hate that guy too. Like he's a fucking crazy lunatic now.
Yeah, him and a few other people have gone out. Shit, even Alex Jones is.
Dude, I don't know where these people I don't know why. I think I said this. I don't know if I said this on this show, but my wife and I have been talking about it a couple weeks ago. I'm kind of sick and tired of the whole oh, it's Israel's fault. It's the Jews.
Yeah.
It's why are we just blaming the Jews for everything again? Didn't we try this once?
Well, we
90
didn't,
years ago?
but now we are.
Yeah,
some of us.
No, somebody tried this 90 years ago. Didn't really work out that well. And listen, I don't trust Israel's government as far as I can throw them.
Yeah, neither do I.
But I'm so sick and tired of the Hodge twins, the Myron Gaines, who guys that I liked, a year ago. Tucker, Candace, I haven't really been a fan of for a while, but once she started accusing Erica Kirk of killing her husband,
it happened immediately after he was killed.
Yeah, and of course the Jews, they were to it. I was like, yeah, nah, I'm all set with you. But all those guys, all those people, Alex Jones, the Hodge twins, Myron Gaines, Tucker, all these people now, where it's just it's becoming so in vogue and just so easy to be like, the Jews did it. It's the Jews' fault. They're the ones that are the cause of all of our problems. And I'm like, really, and not for nothing, right? But let's say Israel does not have our best interest at heart, and I could see that being the case in a lot of situations.
Same.
Anything that we do that if America bombs Iran, and it just so happens to benefit Israel, that doesn't mean that we're doing Israel's bidding. It just means that we both have a common enemy.
The only reason we are still allies with them is because of their geographical location. If Israel was somewhere, if it wasn't Israel, it'd be whoever else.
If Israel's next door to Spain, we'd probably tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure, but there's this whole narrative that people think that Netanyahu and Israel are that Trump is somehow just bending the knee to them and doing all their bidding for him is absolutely fucking laughable to me. And it's just become this lazy narrative from the right, because I feel like these grifters, right? These are the people that grift, and they're just here to make a buck, and they lick their finger, they stick it in the air, see which way the wind is blowing, and they're like, ooh, the money's blowing that way, let's go there. And I feel like they think that maybe they see the writing on the wall that once Trump is gone, that this whole movement might start to fall apart, and they're trying to get out ahead of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, I don't. I think you're underestimating the MAGA movement itself and the people that are coming after Trump.
And
whether
also,
it be Vance, Rubio, DeSantis, whomever, there's plenty of people that are going to carry the water for this movement going forward. And it doesn't do us any good to sit here and be like, well, the Jews did it. And we're like, no, they just shut up.
Well, also,
it's so annoying.
Ask them this question. Ask them, okay, we'll name a president from the past 70 or so years that wasn't allied with Israel as well.
Right.
Regardless of political affiliation, whether
every single one of them
has
been. And again, it's because like you said, because of their geographical location, that's it. That's the bottom line. Do we need Israel? Yes. Do they always have our best interest at stake? No. Do you not think that people in charge know that? Do you think they're just blindly going in there and they're like, oh, Israel's our best friend in the world. They would never hurt us or do anything that wouldn't be in our best interest. Are you fucking retarded? I know the answer to that is yes, but come on, man. Jesus Christ, dude. I get it. People well, and I get Nick Fuentes. It's funny, his shtick is funny, and that whole thing is yeah, and the fucking Jews and blacks and this and that, and it's oh, okay, yeah, it's funny because it's funny when you look at it as like it's a meme and a shtick, but then you have people that start taking it seriously. You're like, whoa, brother, like,
Pump
we
the
need you
brakes
to
a
back
little
up
there.
a little bit. Like let's not be ridiculous here. Like
Well,
we
it's
don't
one
actually
thing.
think this.
It's one thing for them to say, "Oh, I think it's Israel that is doing this." It's another when they're just straight up saying Jews, the Jews.
Right, the Jews. Like I'm like, no, man. Like my friends that I went to like high school with that are Jewish have nothing to do with any of this.
Yeah, they
You know
don't.
what I mean? Like
They're yeah,
nah.
exactly. It
That's not it. That ain't it, Chief.
again, like, didn't we learn from you know that time, the Holocaust? Like, if you're gonna blame people and you're gonna blame them, just say Israel, the Israeli government,
Yeah,
specifically.
the Israeli government. Yeah, I can disavow the Israeli government until the cows come home.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean all Jews are like just like what do you think they got? Like it's like in South Park when like the Canadians have their box of truth because the princess gets kidnapped and
Yeah,
if you're opening this box, that means something terrible has happened to Canada. Like
exactly.
and if you open this box and you weren't ordered to, hey guy, you're a dick. Like
Yeah.
you know, you know what I mean? Like it's like what are they doing? They have like a box of hope that like the Jews just like go to and they're like, all right, what are my next orders, Daddy Netanyahu? Like, what should I do to undermine America?
Yeah,
And it's like why are you rubbing your hands together like that? He's like, what? Nothing. I don't know.
It's the same as saying like anybody
Happy
that
Hanukkah.
lives in North Korea is a piece of shit, like communists. Like it's like no, there's a shitload of people that want to get out of there.
Yeah, they just can't because they know they'll be murdered if they even say anything.
Mhm.
Kind of like all those Iranians that the mullahs just gunned down a few weeks ago for protesting against their government and saying like, no, we don't want to live under your rule anymore. They're like, that's cool. Now you die.
And it's so hilarious because the left are quickly defending them, the
Yeah,
Iranian government. Like,
I'll be quiet on that front, aren't they?
well, they don't acknowledge the fact that 40,000 of them were shot down in the streets and
Yeah.
more are being executed now, like without like due representation too. They're like expediting the executions,
Right. It's a rough day to be that women's soccer team. I can tell you that.
right? But they're oddly silent on that, but they're very much for Iran still being Iran.
Yeah,
Even though
I don't
the
understand
vast
that.
majority of the people there, especially the women,
Right?
don't agree with what basic white bitches here in America think.
No, because Becky, while she's sitting at Starbucks on her phone, watching, looking at, watching Cenk Younger or Occupy Democrats, and she's
God.
sitting there going, she's like, these Iranian women don't know anything. I've got some stuff they should read, and they're like, yeah, we don't need to read it, bitch. We lived it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm living it
Currently.
right now. Like,
Yeah.
I literally could get killed for this conversation
Mhm.
by my government if they come find me. Like, that's a real threat to my life every day.
Yeah, and that's
And-
if they had
but-
internet, because most some areas still don't have it. It got
No.
taken out.
And they're not going to either. And that's the fucking crazy part to me is that, again, it's just the ignorance and the just the willingness to be so ignorant. It's just crazy to me from the left and how they only believe whatever they want to believe. Because I guarantee you, if Obama had attacked Iran and then done what Trump did,
Yeah.
or Joe Biden did or Kamala, they would have been like, "Oh, this is great." We can't
Absolutely.
let these people who chant death to America, we can't ever let them have ballistic missiles, especially with nuclear capabilities. And we're like,
Of course.
yeah, no shit. That's
It's simply because it's Trump doing it. If it was anybody else,
exactly.
like if it was
And that's-
another Republican president, they'd probably be against it, but not like this. Not to this level. It's simply because it's Trump.
Exactly. And we know that, Trav. You and I we're well aware of the idiocy that stems from the left and their foolish inability to just not to like this to disguise their TDS. Like,
Correct.
yeah, I couldn't stand Obama. I disagreed with him on damn near everything politically and otherwise.
Yep.
But I certainly held him up and applauded him for killing Bin Laden.
Sure. Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course.
Imagine that, like, well, what was Bin Laden doing? He was just sleeping in his bed, with his wife and kids, and we just rolled in there and murdered him because that's what America does because we're capitalist murderers. colonizing fucks, you know, and I'm like,
Yeah, to the guy who masterminded 9/11. Like he's
Right.
fucking Santa Claus.
yeah, and they're like, but he's a person too, and he has a right to live. Nah, I'll give you 3,000 reasons why he doesn't have a right to live,
Hmm.
and that's just scratching the surface. So go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's not even the people that died due to after effects later, like the first
Correct.
responders.
Or the people that had to suffer because of what they did.
Exactly.
You know,
So
or
it's
as
well
Ilhan,
over that number.
as Ilhan Omar would put it, some people did something.
Hmm.
Okay. But yeah, I can't with that shit. It's so funny. It's just they think they're so they hold themselves so high, like intellectually above everybody else, that they fail to see how transparent they are. And that's
Yeah.
what I think is the most funny about this whole situation.
It. I mean, that can be said over the last 10 years. It's become more apparent and obvious to us, sane people, whether you're. That applies to people that are even liberal. There are sane liberal people, few and far between these days, but.
But there are ones. I mean, I still have friends that vote, that vote Democrat,
Hmm.
but they're not completely. They're more like, I want to say they're more in line with like a Bill Maher,
Yeah.
where they're like, all right, they're like, I'm not voting for Trump, but like also like, what the fuck is going on with my own party?
Yeah, they're not. They at least are aware of what's going on, and they're not completely indoctrinated.
Right. And what's funny about that too, though, is like a lot of them, they won't say it out loud to like you or me. They'll say it behind closed doors to their inner circle friends, the ones that are on the same side as them.
To their
But they won't say it.
wives, boyfriends, still.
Yeah, they won't. Right, exactly. They won't say it. They won't say it to like us and be like, yeah, like I don't agree with Trump. I don't like Trump for X, Y, and Z. But also, yeah, the left is fucked. Those are very like I've had that conversation with very select few people, and I mean, I watched some of my friends, especially during COVID, go from like hardcore leftists, liberals to conservatives
Hmm.
because they saw how the Biden administration treated us during COVID, and they were like, "Wait, whoa, 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 hold up,
That
what are we
certainly
doing?"
was a turning point for some. Absolutely.
It was a turning point for a couple, at least a couple that I know personally, and that was an interesting transformation to see because it was like, yes, welcome to the good side. The water's warm. Come on in. And this whole like, well, you're going to be on the wrong side of history bullshit. It's like, dude, no, I'm not. Like, no.
It's
Like,
so
that's just
funny
something
that they say that shit.
Yeah, they need that to be true because otherwise their side is completely fucked.
Yeah.
Because they know they're on the wrong side, and they're like, fuck, if we're not going to win this and we're not going to be on the right side, we are fucking screwed because we look like fucking assholes.
Yeah, so we just gotta deny. Whenever mirrors hold up to our faces, we gotta pretend like we're vampires and don't have a reflection.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just
Yeah.
double down, triple down, lie confidently, and lie often.
Lie, and
All it
lie
takes.
again. It's basically all they have. It's
Truth.
it's a real shame. I'm just glad I'm not a part of that hive mind that
No,
has
and like
clearly
we said,
taken
like,
over a good portion of that side of the political spectrum at this
and
point.
like we said, Trav, on top of it too, like you and I can sit here and say, like, if somebody who's a conservative comes out and says something stupid or does something, atrocious, we're not afraid to call that person out and kick him out of the fucking party and be like, no, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like we have standards over here, whereas the left, they'll just, he's an all right guy. I'm telling you, he's just a little rapey when he drinks, but he's a recovering alcoholic. So yeah. But meanwhile, they'll go out there and be like, Pete Hegseth had beer.
Yeah.
What a piece of shit. Like.
Yeah, they say that about him. Meanwhile, yes, Swalwell just had this happen. And
I mean,
and I've seen zero people coming to his defense, even on the left. Like I'm not seeing any positive.
They're not. But the thing is like they're not going to hang him out to dry, but they're not going to defend him either. They're just going to like, sorry, dude, you're on your own on this
just
one.
not say, just distance themselves completely.
Exactly, because they don't have any accountability. So.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I have a race in 3 minutes. If you want to wrap this thing up,
I was going to suggest that too. I don't know why I'm Italian now. Oh,
hey.
The gabagoo.
If it comes on top, I send it back. But yeah, no, good show though. That was a good. I think we covered everything.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the Iran
Hit the
stuff.
most- Well, the Iran stuff is gonna come to a head, I think, over the next couple of days.
Last week we would have talked about it more if we had the show last week because that deadline was looming.
Right.
But yeah, it turns out, other than some bombings in Lebanon by Israel.
Yeah, which no shit.
Yeah, they just couldn't fucking
can't fucking help themselves. I know. Every goddamn time. See, Israel, this is what we're talking about. Like, just knock it off.
Yeah, it's just.
But next week, I think we'll hear more about it too over the next coming days. Because even in Germany, and then again today, more breaking news coming out about the Biden FDA knowing about the risk of stroke with the COVID vaccine, and that they intentionally kept Americans in the dark about the side effects.
Big surprise there.
And that German doctor that testified in Parliament in Germany either yesterday or today, I can't remember exactly which one it was, basically saying that there's been approximately 60,000 deaths linked to the vaccine in Germany alone.
Just in Germany, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see as more information comes out. We'll see what happens over the next couple of days. But
yeah,
I think next Monday we might have ourselves a fairly loaded show.
I think we will.
You know, because the Iran thing will be either accelerating or completely finished. And we'll see how that goes. And then this whole vaccine stuff that's starting to roll out is fascinating to me.
Absolutely. I mean, shit. What a crazy time that was. And it was already 6 years ago.
I know. Time flies when you're having fun, Trev.
Absolutely. And we always have fun here at the Adult Table, folks.
We will certainly do.
Well, yeah, it sounds like we got a loaded potato of an episode next week.
We do. You know, but unlike, you know, I said something, off topic real quick too. I made a really funny Megadeth joke the other day. Where I was like, you know, I was like, well, it wasn't like so much like a punchline joke, but it was like I just was in conversation. I was like, yeah, Megadeth's like the fat chicks and mopeds of music, you know, like you like some of their stuff, but you never want anybody to know that you were listening to them. You know,
that's like pretty good.
I sent the song to my brother. And it's an older Megadeth song. It was what was it? Angry Again, I think. Great riff. And then Dave just has to ruin it by opening his voice.
Yep.
And you're like, dude, like if they got literally anybody else to do the vocals for Megadeth, they would have been one of the coolest bands. Because Dave Mustaine, I mean, he is one of the greatest riff masters of all time.
Yeah.
It's just God, and then the lyrics and everything. I'm like, just shoot. But that one song in particular, like that's one I can tolerate. Mm-hmm. Where it's not like the lyrics don't kill it, you know, where like some of the other songs where you're just like, oh, okay. Although he does say twist a little gay in there in that song, but
twist.
Yeah, it's just like and it sounds like somebody's like comment on like a thread and like, I fucking love the way he says twist, and I'm like, I'm like, all right, I'm like, someone go fucking trace this account back. This is definitely a Dave Mustaine burner account,
right?
And it all stemmed from somebody posted like a riff of a Metallica riff, and they were like, "This is one of the best intros of all time," and it was on TikTok, and it was like 1,500 comments, and every comment was like, "Do you know Dave Mustaine wrote this? This is actually Dave Mustaine. Did Dave Mustaine tell you that he wrote this? He wrote this." Like it was just everybody just ripping on Dave Mustaine, even though he had nothing to do with it. It was fucking awesome, dude.
Oh yeah, all troll comments, and I will leave it with this, since you're on that. Met my girlfriend's nephew Mason. After we ate on Easter, he immediately came up to me and just started talking music. And he plays, but we're talking metal and all this other stuff, and Megadeth came up and it was like, oh, me and my friend, we make fun of him at least once every week.
Yeah, basically. Oh, yeah. It's so easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
But like also, like you said, like we'll stop doing it when Dave stops making us talk about it.
Yeah. And I said
like every week it's like Dave Mustaine's back in the news again.
And I said to him, the most annoying thing about him to me is, and he was like, oh, let me guess, his voice is like his vocals. And I was like, no, the fact that he still can't get over being kicked out of Metallica 40 years ago. And then he did.
It's been 50 years. Give it a break.
And then he did a cover of Ride the Lightning. And then Mason, he laughs and he goes, oh man, that sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah. I like this kid.
He's great.
But they're so true, though. That's just so funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's so awesome.
So we got some Dave Mustaine shit talk in there.
We got to get, it's been a few weeks since we've had some Dave Mustaine shit talk. thrown
Yeah.
into the
I think it
into
had
the
been
show,
at least
so.
a couple episodes since we mentioned him at all. So
Definitely a couple episodes because I think we tried to not overplay it, but
well, it usually happens organically, but
I know that's the other thing too. It's like we don't have a choice sometimes. We're like, nope, Dave Mustaine gave us the material. Here we are.
yeah, we're talking about DYAA sports,
Yeah.
and then yeah. By the way, fuck Dave Mustaine, right?
Yeah. By the way, did you see that dumb shit Dave Mustaine said the other day?
What was it? Who cares? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Who cares? It's just Dave Mustaine.
it's
bitching
Dave
about,
Mustaine
bitching about Metallica again. Oh man,
once
too
again.
much fun. Good shit, Trav. All right, bud.
As always, yes.
I'll talk to you next week.
All right. See you then, brother. And
All right. Thanks, everybody.
thanks for watching, folks. Have a good